love your own enemies. Don't be loving mine. My enemies are the theocratic fascists. I don't love them. I want to destroy them.
Child made in the image of God. Oh no, you're not. You're a faggot. And you can't join your church and you can't go to heaven. This is disgraceful. It's inhuman.
Okay, so let's just try to imagine, Christians. We're having an exercise today involving your imagination. We're going to try really hard to imagine what you consider to be God, okay? The only God. There's only one, according to Christianity. And he inspired the Bible. Either you believe that he inspired the whole thing, every word of it, or you don't believe that he did. But then you must be smart enough to be able to tell all by yourself what parts of the Bible were and were not inspired by God, which is really impressive to me. One of the reasons I'm an atheist now is I realized I didn't have the stuff to know what verses in the Bible I could trust as being inspired by God and what verses were man-made, put there with an agenda to serve man and serve Christianity, you know, the religion itself, the whatever, having nothing to do with God. Okay, so if you're clever enough that you can figure out which of the verses in the Bible were inspired versus not inspired, well, good for you. You're smarter than me. I wasn't able to do it. So when I figured out that I couldn't trust every single verse in the Bible as being inspired by God, that's when I realized I couldn't believe anymore. Because if the whole piece is in doubt, because I know some of it wasn't inspired by God, then how can I believe in it? You know, I can't trust it. How do I know this sentence is from God, or did Paul make it up? A lot of it was made up by men, not God. So we're going to assume, though, for this exercise, that the whole thing, the whole Bible, was inspired by this God that you believe in. Okay, so this God that you believe in is totally infallible, perfect in every way. And he created the entire universe. And now there's a chance that the universe is not so big as we thought. There could be other universes, and there might be something that these other universes reside in. So there's a space even bigger than the universe that universes are inside of. This is my thought. I don't know if that's been proven or not, but they do think that, they being scientists, that there might be other universes. And if there are other universes, those universes have to be inside something, contained in something. There's something even bigger out there than a universe, okay? And your claim is that this one God created everything just for humans to exist. So he didn't just create a whole universe so that humans could exist. He created universes, most likely, just so humans could exist. Wow, humans are really a big deal for him, apparently, that he would create billions of stars and trillions of planets and who knows, billions of galaxies. I don't know all the numbers, I just know that there's a hell of a lot. And who knows how many universes there are. Maybe there's as many universes as there are galaxies. And maybe the space that the universes are inside, maybe there's something bigger than that space, that those things are inside. How far does it go? Does it go on forever? Maybe. Is there ever a point where you come to the end? And your God made all of that just so humans could exist. Humans. That's how special humans are. to this God, nothing else, no other life on this planet or all the other planets, which I'm sorry, I do think that of all those other of all those other planets out there, there's got to be life. So humans are more important than everything, not just all the life on this planet, but all the potential life on other planets too. Humans are the most important thing. So God made all this just for there to be humans. Okay, so we're assuming that this is how big this God is. This God has to be pretty darn big and pretty darn powerful to create all of this. Okay, but he's so... This is where I have a hard time, and maybe a Christian can help me, because even as a Christian, I wasn't able to fathom or quite work this out in my head. A God so big as to create even just one universe. Let's keep it small for our little human brains. A God big enough to create a universe that has billions of galaxies in it, most likely, trillions of stars, gazillions of planets, cares about one kind of creature more than any other. That would be humans. And he cares so much that he inspired every sentence in a book. And it could be the Quran or it could be the Bible, depending on what religion you choose. But God inspired every word. He had the time to put that kind of effort. You know, he actually could communicate in so many other more effective ways, but he went with the book idea and using a primitive human language too on top of it, which would limit him. He's so powerful, but he would limit himself to the capacity of a language. Okay, now imagine a God this great caring about what humans do in their day-to-day life, each individual one. So he cares especially for one species of all the species there are, both on this earth and any other planets. But he also needs to put down rules that the individuals of this species need to follow. Little rules, okay? Creator of the universe comes up with rules. There's laws, 613 of them to be exact. One of the laws, you need to love him. Yeah, he made you and he requires that you love him. It's very important to him that you love him. Now, why is it important to him that you love him? You also need to fear him. That's another law. Why do you need to fear him? Why do you need to love him? What does it matter to him if you fear him and love him? Unless he has needs. He needs you to fear him and love him. But why would a God need anything? Why would the creator of the universe need you to do anything? What does it matter to him? He is God. He created the universe. What does it matter if this little tiny speck of life on a little tiny speck of a planet loves and fears him or not? You are not to profane his name. You're not to say any bad words that has his name in it, like goddamn. Why do you think the universe, the creator of the universe, would care what you said with your mouth or to sanctify his name? There's another one. Or not to destroy objects associated with his name. Again, why do you think the creator of the entire universe cares about this? You are not to test the prophet unduly. Really? So you're not supposed to challenge what the prophet has to say or question? To me, that's what that means. Don't question the prophet unduly. Don't question. Just accept it at face value. Again, why does the creator of the universe not want you to question? Not want you to learn things? He has all the knowledge that there ever was in his little whatever, in him. He knows everything. Wouldn't he want you? He actually says that one of his rules is that you need to emulate his ways. Well, isn't that try to seek as much knowledge as you possibly can, since he knows everything? If you're trying to emulate his ways, wouldn't you want to try to learn everything too? Then why does he say not question the prophet unduly or test the prophet unduly, which I think means question the prophet unduly? Can't the prophet handle being asked questions? To cleave to those who know him. See, there's another rule. Why does he care? He's the creator of the universe. Who you decide to marry or mate with, why does he care? To reprove wrongdoers. Why does the creator of the universe care what people... I mean, okay, there's wrongdoers. Okay, why does that affect him in any way? He's the creator of the entire universe. To not hate fellow Jews. Again, why does he care? He's the creator of the universe. To not oppress the weak. Well, you know, it's not nice to oppress the weak. But again, why would a God who created the entire universe and all this life care so much that one little tiny peon of an individual of this tiny race of... I mean, it's just this tiny little speck on a beach. I mean, they compare the planet Earth is like a grain of sand compared to all that there is in the universe. Why would the God care about, you know, don't embarrass others? Again, why do you think the God of the universe would care? Not to oppress the weak, I already said, not to gossip about others. Do you think the God who created the entire universe cares if you gossip or not? Don't bear a grudge. Do you think the God of the universe who created the entire universe would care if you had a grudge? To learn the Torah and teach it. I'm just going to go down the list of some of these laws. To honor those who teach and know the Torah. Not to inquire into idolatry. Not to follow the whims of your heart or what your eyes see. Not to blaspheme. Again, do you think the creator of the universe cares about these piddly little trivial things? Not to worship idols in the manner they are worshipped. Not to bow down to idols. Not to make an idol for yourself. Not to make an idol for others. Not to make human forms even for decorative purposes. So I guess Ken dolls and G.I. Joes are totally out. Not to turn a city into idolatry. To burn a city that has turned to idol worship. Not to rebuild it as a city. Not to derive benefit from it. Not to missionize an individual to idol worship. These are all rules. Not to love the missionary. Okay. Not to cease hating the missionary. Not to save the missionary. Not quite sure what these mean even. Not to say anything in his defense. Not to refrain from incriminating him. Not to listen to a false prophet. Not to swear in the name of an idol. Not to perform yedoni, magical seer, it says in parentheses. Let's scroll down a little bit. Not to bow down on smooth stone. Honest to God. This is a rule. This is one of God's 613 rules. You are not to bow down on smooth stone. Not to plant a tree in the temple courtyard. Not to derive benefit from idols and their accessories. He's really stuck on idols, isn't he? Not to show favor to them. I think he's talking about idols. Not to be superstitious. Now there's a joke. Hey, Christians, you're not to be superstitious. Not to go into a trance to foresee events. Not to engage in astrology. Not to mutter incantations. Not to consult of, whatever that means. Not to perform acts of magic. Men must not shave their beards with a razor. Men must not wear women's clothing. Women must not wear men's clothing. Well, I'm screwed. Gee, do you think the creator of the entire universe gives a rat's whatever, what clothing people wear? Not to tattoo the skin. Well, think of all the Christians that walk around with tattoos of Jesus or the cross on them. Not to tear the skin in mourning. Not to make a bald spot in mourning. To repent and confess wrongdoings. To say the Shema twice daily. Let me get down a little further. The court must not inflict punishment on the Sabbath. To sanctify the day with Kiddush and Havdalah. These are all very Jewish, so I don't know what the hell they mean. But this is from the Jewish whatever. This is the Jewish God, which Christians Christians have adopted. That's their God. the Jewish God is the Christian God, more or less. Christians have just, oh, well, we don't look at that. We look at the New Testament because Jesus came along and that changes everything. Except that Jesus, who was a Jew, when he says that not one, I'm trying to get this from memory, not one jot or tittle of the law shall be changed or pass away until the end of the world, or until all has come to pass. He's talking about these laws. He's talking about the 613 laws of God. We're talking about the creator of the universe here. The guy who created the entire universe is going to care that men don't wear women's clothing and women don't wear men's clothing because, you know, he has nothing better to do. He's up there trying to run the entire universe. He's trying to make sure that such and such stars, you know, blow up at the appointed time, because everything is according to his divine plan. So that would mean the death of stars. That would mean when the meteor, when falling stars, shooting stars, whatever, meteorites hit the Earth's atmosphere and go skidding across. That's all part of God's plan. He's got a huge juggling act that he's got to do. You know, he's got to decide, okay, what the gravity is on various planets and whatever, holding the satellites in their orbit. I can't even imagine all the things he's got to juggle every single day. And yet he's going to care, he's going to think about and care what so-and-so is wearing from day to day, to have children with one's wife. That's actually one of God's laws, that you need to have children with your wife. Wow. I'm sorry. Oh, here, the rapist must marry the maiden. Now, I imagine the parentheses, if she chooses, was added later, or somebody put that in there, but I bet you if you look up Deuteronomy 22:29, it doesn't say if she chooses. The court must find one who seduces a maiden. These are all things that the creator of the universe really cares deeply about while he's juggling all this stuff that he needs to juggle. You know, when the leaves fall on such and such planet, when the tides go in and out on such and such planet, you know, earthquakes, storms, who he's going to smite with lightning. These are all things he has to keep, you know, juggling and maintaining. He's got a big job, and yet he's going to care, you know, that somebody put oil on her meal offering. He's going to care about that. He's going to care about not to have sexual relations with your daughter. Well, yeah, that's a pretty good one. But still, would the creator of the universe care about stuff like that? Who you have sex with? Or who you're attracted to? Would he care? Human beings have such a puny God. They call him the creator of the universe and say he's just so all-powerful and da-da-da-da-da, and yet he is so small. He's just like a giant human in space that cares about these little trivial human matters. I'm sorry, but a real God would not care about any of this. He would not waste his time putting together a book and inspire what's in it. He wouldn't care what little peon humans do with their life from day to day. A real God wouldn't care. And in my opinion, nothing shows that these Abrahamic religions are man-made more than the fact that their God is so human. He's so small. He's just a human in the sky. That's all he is. No real God would put together these stupid laws. No real God would care. Anyway, I have to keep it short. I get 15 minutes. That's it. So that's my point. Christians, I think if you really imagine really hard how big you're claiming God is, and then try to imagine this enormous being who made this huge expanse of unlimitless space, caring about these little laws and what little humans do on... I mean, the arrogance to believe that is just unfathomable. That you would actually think the creator of the universe would care what you wear every day. or what you put on your food, or who you are attracted to. So anyway, that's all. I wanted to make a short video about that. If you've been watching, thanks. Bye.
I am absolutely convinced that the main source of hatred in the world is religion. And I think it should be religion treated with ridicule and hatred and contempt.